let's do it, man. It's time to lock them motherfucking gates. Let's turn this up.
Man, what's going on, man? It's your boy, E. Will. Hey, we back with another episode of the Lock the Gates podcast. So, look, there's some stuff today I just wanted to hit on real quick. You know the Titans, we hired a couple of more coaches. Okay, we hired a couple more coaches. We trying to get this coaching staff together. I'm pretty sure y'all heard we hired Nick HOLZ, a couple of days ago as our, offensive coordinator. I believe he was the Jaguars passing game coordinator last year. And then he also was the offensive coordinator for UNLV. And also, he has a connection to Bill Callahan as well. I believe back in 2007, Bill Callahan gave him his first job at Nebraska as a video intern and I believe an offensive assistant. So, he has a little history. I believe he worked for Oakland as well. And, he has a little history behind him. Is it a splash hire? No. Is it a buddy hire? Probably, yes. But I like it though. Because we already know Brian Callahan's going to be calling the plays. I'm not really sure about how I feel about that yet. I mean, you have some successful coaches doing that like Andy Reid, but, I don't know how many of them is really successful doing that, calling plays and trying to run everything else that's going on, but I'm going to give Brian a chance. So, it is a buddy hire. But, I remember in Brian Callahan's press conference where he said, he wants people to love coming to work. He wanted to be a great environment. And I think he meant for himself as well. Having Vrabel in the building, from what we've heard, it was hostile. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just wasn't happy to be there. So I think Brian's trying to, kind of inflict some, sunshine in the building, man, and just kind of liven things up and make players, want to come to Tennessee. I always remember A.J. Brown saying, it's not fun there, which he was kind of alluding to. He didn't like being in Tennessee. Robert Woods. I remember when Robert Woods got, we let Robert Woods go. First thing he did was go to Twitter saying, I'm free. Like he was in a penitentiary. So, it just seems that a lot of players who leave here ain't too big on this place. So I can respect Brian Callahan trying to come in, live in the mood, trying to get him a coaching staff together that's going to work together. It's just like a relationship, man. Sometimes you got to be friends first. Then you can be lovers second. Those seem to be the best relationships that work, So, I didn't have a problem with Mike Vrabel hiring his friends, but, when your friends aren't doing their job, then you gotta, hey, man, I love you, but, bro, hey, man, I gotta get you out of here, man. It just is what it is. You can call me tomorrow, though, but sometimes you gotta move on. You gotta do what's right for the team, for the fans, for the city, for the franchise. So, right now, I know people ain't happy about it. Some people a little skeptical about it, but I just really think that he just need Nick Holtz just to put things in place, while he's trying to look over some other stuff. Like I said, Brian's going to call the plays. Nick just going to implement everything, put it on paper for these guys, show them how it's supposed to be ran. And, he's pretty much just going to be the right-hand man for the most part, Now, we also had two other coaches that got hired as well on the defensive side of the ball. Now, we already know Denard Wilson's coming in. Now, that's a splash hire. I'm sorry, that's a splash hire. I love that hire. Now, people around the media, they ain't going to give us no respect for that hire. If he would have went anywhere else, it would have been the best hire ever. But I'm just saying, people in the media, he went to the Titans, whatever. But, hey, that's a good hire. I'm telling y'all right now, that's a good hire. Okay, so these other two guys I wanted to hit on. Okay, we got Steve Jackson coming from Atlanta. I think he's the DB's coach. He's coming here to also be a DB's coach under, Denard Wilson's staff. I believe the third round pick in the 1991 draft to the Oilers. Spent his whole career with the Oilers, 9 seasons, I believe. So if you heard that name, it's probably why it's kind of familiar to you. I do believe he was here as well back in 2016 and 17 under Mike Mularkey. He was our DB's coach then as well too. And I believe it was Mularkey and Dick LeBeau at that time. So, you know, he's got a lot of history here in Tennessee. You know, I mean, it's another one of those hires where, like, if you're not real familiar with, you know, Titans history, Oilers history, you might not get too excited about it. But if you watched the Atlanta Falcons last year, then you know, like, Atlanta's secondary was nice. You know, now I know when they came here, you know, D-Hop kind of had a day on them. But if you watched Atlanta's whole season, Atlanta's secondary was pretty nice last year. So I'm real excited about that because, I mean, you just have to get teachers in here, man. You got to have guys who played the position, who've played the game. They got to teach some of these guys. You know, now granted, our secondary right now, man, it's kind of rough. You know, I mean, only person I really love in our secondary is Amani Hooker. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Christian Fulton, man, I had high hopes for Christian Fulton. Like, season before last, he looked good, but this past season, man, it was terrible. And I don't know, man. I don't know if it was more like Vrabel really not trying to cater and put him in the best position. I don't know. But when I see guys like Trey Avery out there getting cooked, you know, Edmonds was all right. Davon Wallace was all right. You know, McQuarrie, I love McQuarrie too. I forgot about McQuarrie. I love McQuarrie. He's starting to get his feet up under him. You know, I know he's a rookie, you know, the year before, but he's starting to get his feet up under him. Molden, I don't know how I feel about Elijah Molden. I don't know. I mean, I know he made a big play last year, you know, with the pick 6 against the Texans, but I don't know, man. I just don't feel his presence out there like that. I just don't. You know, Sean Murphy-Bunting, you know, everybody want to, you know, pretty much shit on Sean Murphy-Bunting, but I keep Sean Murphy-Bunting. I re-sign him again because I know he was on a championship roster with Tampa Bay. You know, like I said, some of these guys just need the right system. You know, I know Mike Vrabel was kind of stubborn. You was going to run his defense or you was going to get kicked out of here. So I believe, you know, if you know, if Steve Jackson can really coach these guys, really teach these guys, no matter what DBs we get in here, they're going to play better than they did last year for sure. And the next guy, Frank Bush, he's also coming from Atlanta. I don't know what it is. I don't know. We just got a connection with Atlanta for some reason. But, yeah, Frank Bush is coming over from Atlanta. I believe he's their linebackers coach. And he's coming over here to be our linebackers coach as well. Once again, if you watched the Falcons last year, I'm telling you, the Falcons had a good defense. Just skip that game against us because I don't really think they really knew too much about Will Levis. But, you know, Frank Bush, he was drafted by the Houston Oilers in the 5th round of the 85 draft, you know, and played football for North Carolina State. So we bringing in guys who've been with the organization already before. And I believe Frank Bush, I believe he was already, he's been a linebacker coach here as well back in 2011 through 2012. So, I mean, we bringing back guys, man, who've been in the organization, you know, who, you know, obviously, you know, made great contributions to the organization, you know, so, I mean, we bringing back just guys that's been around here before, man, and hopefully, you know, well, you know they got a lot of experience. They've been to several other teams since here. So you bringing a lot of experience, you know, in the building, which Brian Callahan need being a first-time, you know, head coach. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, honestly, I'm super excited. Like, I can't even lie to y'all. I'm super excited. The past 2 seasons been stale. And to be honest with you, I wasn't excited about next season. We had all the cap in the world. You know, we got the high draft pick. But to be honest with y'all, like, not really being able to capitalize on our draft picks. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've had a couple. McQuarrie, Simmons. AJ Brown, who we gave away for a ham sandwich. You know, Caleb Farley, unfortunately. I don't know about Caleb Farley. He probably looking at getting cut. I mean, I really want to give Caleb Farley another chance, though. I really do. But he looking like he might be cut. But, you know, Peter Skoronski, you know, we've had a couple of hits on our draft picks, but we've had a lot of misses. We've had a lot of busts, like Isaiah Wilson, you know, who I had high hopes for that didn't pan out. So, you know, hey, man, look, we're headed in a new direction. You know what I'm saying? We got a new vision. We got new coaches. And that don't mean we're going to necessarily win next year, you know. But I'd rather go down with this ship than go down another season with a Mike Vrabel ship. I'm just being real. Like, from week one, if they would have just came out and did that run, pass, and you know, just stale football in week one next year, I don't know. Like I said, I'm a diehard fan, man, but gosh, it'd have just been hard for me to just keep watching. I'm not going to lie to y'all. You know, my brother, he got season tickets. You know, I already told him, you know, I'm probably going to wait till the new stadium comes before I get my season tickets. But my brother, you know, he talking about not renewing his tickets because he just said he don't even know if it's worth it. You know, well, he felt like that at first before Vrabel was gone. Now he kind of reconsidering it. But, you know, I mean, as fans, man, you know, we got to be optimistic. We got to be excited. You know. So, like I said, I know I've been telling y'all the past couple videos, man, we finna do this free agency video. I'm finna do this free agency video. The next video is going to be the free agency video. I'm going to tell y'all, man, my top 5 D-linemen, my top 5 cornerbacks, my top 5 running backs. Because, look, I love Tajay Spears, and the King might leave. But, hey, it's some running backs out there that we could bring in, you know, to run with Tajay Spears that had his offense dangerous. So we're going to talk about the top 5 running backs we can bring in here. Definitely going to hit on the top 5 receivers, you know, tight ends, linemen, anywhere we can get better on this team with the cap space we got. I'm going to give y'all that whole rundown in my next video. So, you know, it's your boy E. Will, and I'm going to hit y'all back with another one.